Logos, POW.
So the Megadrive Mini 2 is finally here. So let's have a look at those bonus games which are exclusive to this mini console. Right, so first off we have Space Harrier. Now I heard about this on the grapevine. This was going to be on the Megadrive Mini 2, and this is the reason I bought it, because this is a from the ground up Megadrive version of the original Space Harrier. So let's take a look into a world which could have been, but is now. The future is now. And okay, oh right, this looks do you know what, it's not, you can tell it's not, but initially just then I was thinking to myself, they've just bunged the 32X version on here, haven't they? Cheap. This is not, you can see it's not the 32X version by all that flickering, and it's running slightly differently. It feels chunkier than the 32X version, which I always felt a bit thin. So wow, I coloured me surprised that this is, well, okay, so it's running on a Megadrive Mini, so it's technically running under emulation, but I'm presuming that they've actually programmed this within the constraints of a Megadrive. And to an extent, yeah, it shows, but what a version. If this had come out back in the day on the Megadrive, I would have been so happy. I mean, this would have been the version to play. Well, let's see how it deals with this dragon. Okay, looking good. Oh, okay, maybe not so good. There's a lot of flickering going on there. A hell of a lot of flickering. But this is pretty remarkable. And gameplay's very accurate as well. I can't see anything which is not working the way it should do. Maybe running a tad slower than I would have hoped, but my, this is impressive. Of course, the proof will be in the pudding, because the ROM from this is likely to get hacked out of the Megadrive Mini and put onto flash carts and things like that, and I'll be interested to see just if it does run on a normal spec original Megadrive. I don't see why it wouldn't do. So if anything has taught us over time is people are really good at getting the most out of old systems these days. Yeah, I'm really sort of impressed by this. Oh, that's not right. Those trees were the wrong colour, they were all weird and red. I don't know if that's what that means, but I don't think you had red trees in this section of the original, but no, that looks wrong. But aside from that, yep, okay, again, stage 3 is so far so good. Right, the two-headed dragon boss, the iconic one. Yep, just as easy to kill in this as it is in the arcade, maybe even a tad quicker. And now the ceiling comes down. See how it handles this. Oh, flickers. There's a lot going on. But damn, it looks good. I mean, you can see I've got the scan lines function on, and it looks really nice with the scan lines on. It looks nice. Still imagine it looked nice without the scan lines. Ah, typical. Last Blowball got me. Bonus stage. The dragon actually feels really good to control on this version. But the flickering is not making it easy for me to see where I'm supposed to be crashing it into stuff. Oh dear. Yeah, a little bit light this bonus stage, not quite as exhilarating as the arcade version, but right, so stage 6 is nice bit of parallax scrolling in the background. That Brain City thing is really flipping about up there, but maybe a bit more so than it should do, but still looks good. And it seems to be an absolutely complete version of Space Harrier from what I can see of these first few levels. Absolutely sterling stuff. So yes, if you're a Space Harrier fan that really wanted to see what Space Harrier could have been like on a properly programmed Mega Drive, you've definitely come to the right place with the Mega Drive Mini, so that's really good. But that's not all the Space Harrier we've got. Oh no, there's more Space Harrier. Let's check this out. Right, they've also gone and redone Space Harrier 2, and if you know me, you know I absolutely love my Space Harrier, but I'm not a fan of Space Harrier 2, so let's see what's happened here. This is just, for me, such a complete letdown and unimaginative game compared to the first. It's basically the same, fly around and shoot, but I've just never enjoyed it as much. Having said that, this is very nippy. Of course, the Mega Drive version of Space Harrier 2 was the original version, no arcade version for it to live up to. So, as a result, using whatever sprite scaling black magic they've got going with the Mega Drive version of the original Space Harrier we just played, applying it to this actually makes it a very, very speedy game. I'm still not enamoured with it, but I can at least appreciate what's happened here. This is the way Space Harrier 2 should have played. Now, if only they could sort out the absolutely diabolical art style and the music, I think I'll be happy. Oh, little dragon. But I'm not really going to complain about this very much because it is... I can definitely appreciate the work that's gone into it. It is very speedy. Oh, and here comes the turtle head boss. Touching cloth, are we, mate? Right, skipping on a bit, we've got stage 4. I don't think I've even played this far. Look, there's some robots. Yeah, not as pretty as the original Space Harrier, is it? Those colours on those robots, it's like two-tone green or two-tone blue. Nowhere near as good as the original. But yeah, it is obviously showing that it is a Mega Drive game first and foremost. But, you know, I'm not going to complain too much because it's been done really well. A lot of care and attention's gone into this as a upgrade of one of the most disappointing Mega Drive games ever. Now, if only they could have done it to Super Thunderblade. Spoilers, it's not on this console. Right, staying literally in the Fantasy Zone, here is Fantasy Zone. And this apparently is a new version of this. Don't really know the original very well, but this apparently is a super easy version on it, which is good because I actually found it really quite a hard game. But Fantasy Zone, you know, is nice and all. And I don't know the original well enough to compare it, even though I own it. Weird that, isn't it? But the idea, move along, collect the keys, probably runs smoother than the original, I'm going to say, probably. A bit more accurate to the arcade game. Oh god. Right, I've got to destroy these base things here, these floating flappy base things. Oh crap. Yeah, I think it's graphically it's improved over the original version on the Mega Drive. I mean, if you like Fantasy Zone, that's nice. If you don't like Fantasy Zone, well, you know, that's up to you. But it's nice to see at least this upgrade to what some people would say is a classic. I'm still not very good at it. Oh, shop. Let's go in the shop. Let's have that instead. Oh, that's interesting. So I can select my weapons straight out of the shop via sort of a rudimentary loadout screen, if you will. So that's interesting. I don't know if that was in the original. I don't remember it. Right, anyway, we've got 2 more of these bases to shoot before we get the... Ah, there we go. That's what I don't like about Fantasy Zone. The weapons that run out. We get a boss now? Here it comes. That looks better. I'll give it that. I think that looks better. I could be wrong, and I'm dead. So yes, Fantasy Zone. Quick look at that. It's been improved, probably. Looks nice though. Right, here's an oldie but a goodie. This is Super Locomotive. Now I covered this about 4 or 5 years ago when I was comparing it, or at least using it as an introduction to talk about Tony Crowther's fixation with this and his various versions he did of it on the Commodore 64. But interesting. The original of this had music ripped from the Yellow Magic Orchestra, which they've made, shall we say, legally distinct by changing a couple of notes. It's almost the same song. Oh shit. But it's almost the same. Oh, I've turned my boosty thing again. I'm not entirely sure that was a good idea. This is again. This is another surprise. It's a really old Sega coin-op, and apparently was a really obscure one. There wasn't that many circuit boards out for it when it was released. Strangely enough, Tony Crowther managed to see one. There we go, round over, and made 3 Commodore 64 games based on it. But it's an unusual thing to see in this day and age. 1982. Jeez, that's 40 years ago. Well, that was a quick bonus game, wasn't it? So yeah, Super Locomotive. That's interesting thing to have on the Megadrive Mini here. I'm glad it's on here. I can't say it's a massively excellent game, but a good thing to have. And should I say, an important part of Sega history as well. One that was almost forgotten. But yeah, good to have it on here. Right, next up we've got Star Mobile. Star Mobile. Apparently this was, well yeah, in development 30 years ago and just never happened. So this is a bit of a lost treasure, probably. Maybe it's lost something else. Let's find out. Okay, so I do know it's a puzzle game. So basic explanation of the rules. So stars do things. But I think the idea is to keep the balance in place. Yep, okay. Well, let's just see how this goes. I think some are heavier than others. Oh, you can destroy a... Oh, what? Right, okay, maybe I shouldn't have ignored the tutorial, but fine. Maintain balance, sort of. Yeah, the yellow ones are super heavy. Oh, I missed. Crap. Okay, I cleared the level. Oh, I just noticed. On the next screen you'll see at the bottom there's like a little graph that shows you how heavy things are. So blues are light and red is really heavy. And you can build them up by columns like that. That's oh, I see. So it's maths as well. Right, okay. Armed with the math, we shall do some weighing. But it's an interesting little concept. Oh God, really? Well, that's even things out a bit. Oh, I missed. I wonder how many you're allowed to miss before you lose. Okay, yeah, recommending I put that one there. It's good because it's exactly where it's going. Yeah, that's an interesting concept for a game. It's... Oh, crap, I did not want to do that. That's bollocked things up massively. Game over. So yeah, that's an interesting little game. Not really my cup of tea, but interesting nonetheless. Right, another arcade game back from the dawn of time, well 1984 in this case. This is Splatter. Again being dragged out of retirement to go on the Megadrive. So this is... Oh crap. Sort of a maze game, but with a little child on a tricycle. And you can jump as well, so that's good. Ah, really? And looks like it'll collect a certain amount of flowers. Oh, okay, I've collected all the flowers. Well done me. Not sure what's going on when you jump with the boingy bit on the side of the... Maybe that's a way of nudging things off the screen? Or just avoiding things as... Oh, there we go. Crap. Game over already. Okay, let's have another bash at that. Oh, crap. Main problem I have with mazy sort of games, I never judge the corners and end up going back on myself. Do that all the time with Hang Up Man. Oh, you can push these breeze blocks around as well. That's cool. But yeah, this is nice and jolly. Lovely, typical early Sega. Oh, again, with the directional presses on... I'm useless at Pac-Man, by the way. Yeah, I can see this being an interesting little score attack fun game to play with friends, taking a turn, see who can actually get the best score. Yeah, it'd be fun to play. I'd never heard of this one before. Probably would have turned up eventually in one of my forgotten arcade episodes, but instead, Sega's remembered it for us. Oh, bonus stage. This reminds me of Flicky, this bonus stage. Oh, crap. Did I mention I'm bad at platform games too? I managed to get them all? I guess. No happy bonus for me though. And then on to a harder stage. Yep, nice and jolly this. So yes, Splatter is a fun little game. One I'm really bad at, but hey, loads of people may be better at it than me, and I'm missing one flower and I can't see where it is. Oh, there it is. Brilliant. Yep, Splatter's enjoyable. I recommend it. Right, next up is Devil P. Apparently. Again, unreleased game, 1993. No idea what this is about. It's all in Japanese, they haven't translated it, but that's pretty self-explanatory as one player. Oh, that's a breakout sort of thing. Oh, you can bounce things around like that, I suppose. You've got to free the guy in the middle using your bat, hitting bats. Batception. I wonder how many hits I've got to do before... Oh! The play area is getting smaller? Well, I've managed it somehow. That's weird, isn't it? Right, what's next? A slightly harder stage. We've got time. Is that the time limit down there? Oh! I can... Hey? Okay, that's strange. I control the bottom bat with the D-pad and the top bat with the A and B buttons? Am I supposed to be collecting all these cherubs and demon things? Well, somehow I've managed it. I didn't realise there was another bat at the top of the screen. That's unusual. Gameplay twist. Okay, so stage 3. This is really unusual. There's no way my brain can deal with 2 bats at the same time like this. And it's the cherubs I've got to save. Not without hitting the bats? I don't know. Oh, got a long bat at the top. That's handy, I suppose. And I'm seriously running out of space. Is the screen getting smaller because I'm letting some of the bats through? Could be. I guess that's probably the case. Right, so collect the cherubs at the top and try not to hit the bats at all. Ah, that's reset my screen. Quite handy. That's such a strange thing to actually do, control this bottom bat and the top bat at the same time. Very odd. But yeah, it's interesting. I will give it that. Oh, what's she doing? Oh, she's held my screen a little bit. I'm not sure what that red square appearing in the side there is, but yeah, so that's a weird one, that, isn't it? Might be worth a quick go. If your brain can handle doing 2 things at the same time, which mine definitely can't. It's like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. Very strange. Right, this is the last of the bonus games. This is POW Sun, the Versus version. So I'm not really going to get a lot out of this as single player, because it is literally a Versus version of POW. But hey, if you like POW and you like versus games, you know, that's going to be good. But you've already got POW 2, or you've got Mean Bean Machine. You know, it's a bit also. It's nice to have, but oh shit, it's an also ran, isn't it? You've probably already got a nice version of POW elsewhere. I'm rubbish at POW. As you can probably tell, I'm failing completely to build up a chain here. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I've only got one pad plugged in, and it's realised that, so it's not second player up. Very nice. But yeah, it's more POW. Do you need more POW in your life? Maybe you do. I personally don't, but you know, take it or leave it. It's nice. So there was the exclusive bonus games for the Megadrive Mini 2. What did you think of them? And above all, what games are you looking forward to playing on the Megadrive Mini 2? Comment below.
Yeah, subscribe or naff off.